The CSO Executive Roundtables, which followed the CSO Information Security Awards and Conference 2010, was held on 1st of October 2010, highlighted multiple phases of information security and how it factors into the bottom line of an organization.
In terms of information security, when you actually build a business case, that business case actually goes to a steering committee or the management for approval. So your information security needs have to be translated into the business language or the management language. You are not allowed to use any technical jargons or any technical terms. You need to go to the management and business and tell them that how can that specific solution or that specific need actually deliver the value. And if possible, that value has to be translated in numbers also. Like for instance, let's talk about some example, like for if we talk about online banking and we talk about some various controls related to online banking. For instance, we need to have a VPN or we need to have multi-factor authentication. So when we go to the management for the solution, the deployment of the same, we need to tell them that by deploying these controls, the chances of online frauds will be reduced. We can present them various case studies available, like how many frauds have been committed in the area of online banking. How can the image of the organization be hampered or destroyed just because of online frauds? Because the thing which is very important for the organization is the image of the organization. So we actually have to translate it.
Branchless banking by SVP in collaboration with the telecom and the banking players it took about 3 years and they came up with those and they were the first in the world. Very detailed, very specific. Whereas on information security in general, they have one-liners of you shall follow the best practices. Thou shalt follow the best practices. Thou shalt get certifications which are international best practices. So what I found is that the places where the regulator hasn't been able to come down to the detail level is because nobody in the industry has lobbied for the regulator to do that. Let's be honest, it works on how you lobby around. There was a very powerful lobby who were interested in doing branchless banking, both inside the regulator organization as well as outside. It was because it would bring economic change in the country. So that's how it goes. Wherever you find the state bank very remote, it's because nobody in the industry has actually put energy behind that. It's just a matter of giving time to that area. So branchless banking has got a lot of time and energy from all the players, whereas information security hasn't. It's really up to the players to go to the regulator and say, look, do something about it. And when that happens, it will happen. But I also believe at the same time that in the one-on-one audits that the regulator is doing, it's spending a lot of time on security and it's trying to understand what the banks are doing.
They get your feedback.
It's also difficult, it's also difficult to put out a framework for something so broad as general security, whereas it is possible to do so for a specific thing like branchless banking. And that could also be the reason. I mean, I have no problem with the regulator not giving a framework because the regulator says you need to have a framework. It says you need to have a framework in your bank and you better make sure that you get it approved by a board. And the regulator doing that is enough for me. Because now the board is accountable to make sure that they have a framework and it says you better go and get a certification. It doesn't put a deadline on you because it wants to give you time to prepare for it. But when they see, for example, State Bank now has some deadlines on EMV compliance for cards. They have also said that we will follow the deadlines given by the payment card industry for the PCI DSS. So they are nudging in that direction. I think it's the right approach not to get into the faces of every bank right now. On the individual audits, they don't spare you. If they find that you don't have a framework, they will crucify you. If they find that you are not following best practices, they will crucify you. If they find that you don't have a CISO, they will crucify you. So I think I'm satisfied at this point with the law.
So the TV channels will have to decide that can they afford to remain out of business for 2 hours, 6 hours, depending on that. So the mean downtime will determine their priority that what they want to invest in security. Same thing like banking system. Can Habib Bank afford to have its ATM down for 2 days, 4 days? If they cannot afford, then what security measures they have put in? Very excellent point brought by Manish. That first decide that can you afford out of business first, Maybe some organization say, I cannot afford to remain out of business for even 1 minute. Then maybe some hot site solutions like that will have to think about that, right? So it all depends that what's your business, what's your type of business, what you can afford, what you cannot afford. So I know that will take you somewhere.
A telco is different from a financial institutions. A pharma is different from a textile. And you cannot say that, that the telco business environment and the security policy that you will develop for a telco will be applicable to a, financial institution. I think first, it all depends on the type of business you are in, and the information security people they have to connect with their business. So you cannot just go, maybe you just joined the organization from a textile, you came into a pharma and you want to apply the same solution, same policies. It will not work that way. So every business is unique and they have their unique security requirements. So having a deep understanding of that business is a prerequisite. Before you start talking about all these solutions, this is a data leakage solution or a firewall or there are many different things. So solution comes later on. So even before we start talking about ROI, I believe the first step is for information security people to have a very intimate understanding of the business, the challenges. Once you understand those challenges, obviously it will be easier for you to see that what the threats are and how you can quantify those threats into real numbers. What happens, एक टेक्सटाइल यूनिट उसमें अगर ERP सिस्टम एक दिन के लिए बंद हो जाता है तो कपड़ा बंधा रहेगा, वो रात के वक्त दूसरे दिन उसके अंदर डाटा डाल के एक बैंक के अंदर एक कोर बैंकिंग सिस्टम इज डाउन फॉर अ डे, द बैंक विल गो डाउन.
The event also discussed how security assessments and metrics can be implemented to enhance an organizational security. Based on the 3 tracks, namely strategic track, tactical track and enterprise risk management track, it comprised of morning and afternoon sessions, and all the 3 tracks were held simultaneously. One of the questions posed on the panelists was that how can an organization measure the ROI of information security solutions? What we all need to realize is that one place where a CISO can play a very vital role is in creating awareness and in establishing a level of understanding about possible issues. Importance should be given to investing in the right information security practice at the right time. From the CSO Executive Roundtables, Shafaq Tariq, CIO Pakistan.